Yayo thoughts and tricks, it's your girl Ose, and today's video gonna be a makeup one. Your girl just started doing full face makeup like a couple months ago, and honestly I'm kind of proud of myself. I'm also gonna be showing you guys my sunset kind of technique on my eyelids. Like, I love this look, love this look. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing full face and my sunset eyeshadow, also a little sploosh on across the bridge of my nose, but y'all see that later. Let's get into it. So the first thing I do is I just do dots all over my face, and then I just beat that in with my fingers. I don't bother using a beauty blender because it's just primer, it's not that deep. So I just beat it with my fingers, just rub it all in. Okay, when I'm finished beating my face, I'm gonna go in with this purple color corrector. I literally got it from Winners, so it's not that deep. You don't have to spend that much on it. So yeah, I'm just beating it underneath my eyes because they have hella dark circles underneath them. I did try to beat this in with my finger, like, because I'm kind of lazy, I'm not gonna lie, but it just didn't seem to be there enough. I needed to add more, like it just wasn't covering up the dark spot enough. I also go in other places on my face that are a few shades darker than I'd like them to be, because at this point I'm trying to make my face like a flat canvas, like completely even everywhere. I'm gonna go in with my Fenty concealer. So I like to just put the dots around my face. That's kind of my technique. Like, I just put dots everywhere, and then I beat it in using both the pointy side and the flat side of my beauty blender. So on a wider surface like my forehead, I like to put some extra foundation on my forehead just because it's a bit darker than the rest of my face. Like, it's always been like that. I like to just try to even out the tones in my face by putting a little bit extra on my forehead, and then I'm just gonna beat the rest in as evenly as I can, just trying to make sure that I get the underneath of my eye, make sure that's looking all good, make sure the dark circles are no longer existent. And then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do also underneath my chin and a little bit on my neck as well, because it looks really sketchy when your face is not the same shade as your neck. It looks sketchy. People, wake up. So once I'm done beating all of that, making sure everything's looking the same, now I'm gonna go ahead and contour. So I'm gonna use this shade and that angled brush, and it's just a couple shades darker than my face. I kind of want to make the shape of my actual jawline and my actual cheekbones with this. So I actually try to like carve out the real shape, and that's why I contour my cheeks the way I did there. Now once I'm done doing the darker part of the contour, I'm going to go in with my concealer. So the other one was darker foundation. I just try to squeeze out a little bit at a time. And so I'm going to go back underneath my eyes again. And this time, this is like the final time I'm going to mess with that area for now. So I'm just trying to make the shape of where I want it to go, but not all the way out, because when I blend it out, it's gonna go and reach out further to the further corners of my face. And then I'm gonna go on top of where I contoured my jawline and my cheekbones as well. And then I'm just gonna pat that all out using both the pointy and the flat side, but mostly the pointy side, especially when I'm going around my eye, just to get it like that sharper, like, okay, I want it to go this way, it's gonna go this way. But when you're using the flat side, it's more like, okay, I'm just trying to spread it out. Yeah, I'm just gonna continue to beat my face. Usually after this, people bake and set their face a a bop, but I don't, because I don't have the stuff for that, and I honestly don't care enough, because like it looks decent enough anyway at this point that I don't really need to do no baking. So I'm good on that. And when I'm doing my jawline, see I added a little bit more just because I wasn't satisfied with the lighter part on top. And I did forget to do one shot on my face with the dot line, but it's fine because you know what, as long as you go back to it, you know, it all ends up looking the same. It's fine. But yeah, when I'm doing it, like the lighter part is really just to end where the dark part is. They're just supposed to like balance each other out pretty much. So like if I want the dark part of the contour on my jawline to end there, that's the light part, that's the concealer's job to be like, hey, stop. That's pretty much its job. I'm just gonna keep beating and just pointing my lips in that direction just so I properly like stretch it out over my face. I don't know, it's just easy to do makeup when your face is like stretched, where you know you're hitting everything. And I'm just going over everything, just beating over everything, making sure it's all blended in because I don't want it to look boxy or like I took a pencil crease to my face. I'm honestly just hyping myself up way too much at this moment.
Exquisite.
So now that I've done contour, I'm gonna go on my eyes, and I like to use the concealer that I use for everything else, and I like to use that as a base for my eyeshadow. Okay, I'm just beating in. I like to use my fingers to beat in as well. So I done messed up. I put way too much concealer on my eyelid. I already knew from the moment I started spreading out, I'm like, this is way too much. So I go in with my brush and I start blending it all out. I also cheat by using my finger as well. Finally, it's time to start off with the eyeshadow using my favorite palette from Mix and Blend Beauty. Now we're gonna go in with Should. And we're just gonna start that by packing from the inner corner of our eyelids, but on the upper part of our eyelids because we will be doing a cut crease later on, so there's no point of putting any eyeshadow there in the first place. So we're gonna blend this out all the way to a little bit past halfway of our eyelids. And then we're gonna go in with Tuscan, which is the orange in our Sunset. So we're gonna start this from the middle of our eyelid and we're gonna brush out from there. So we are gonna overlap from where we ended with Should. Now we're gonna go with Yellow Tonic and we're just gonna pat that out. Now the yellow doesn't show up as much, so I have to use a bit more to make sure you can really see the yellow popping out at the end of the Sunset, to make sure it's really visible, and it's just as important as the rest of the colors. And once that's all blended out, I'm gonna go in with Candy Yum Yum. I'm only putting it on one end of our brush. This way I'm not packing on too much because I only want to put it on lightly. I want it to show but not too much. I'm just putting it on the crease of my eye and a little bit higher as well, but all the way out, all the way along the crease of my eye. And now I'm going to go in with my P. Louise eye base. So what I use as a technique is that I pat some on, I look up, and that's where the end of my cut crease should be, because this way I know it's not going to smudge if I'm looking around here, there, and everywhere. So I'm going to show you guys on the other eyelid because I did it way better on this one. I'm trying to get like a rounded shape, almost like the sun on a horizon. That's kind of the shape I was going for. But yeah, I just blend them both out at the same time and make sure the white is packed on. Now we're going to use my Shadow Box palette. We're going to use the orange. So this is a shimmery orange, unlike Tuscan, from my Mix and Blend palette. So that's what I like to have in my cut crease. So I'm doing cut crease. That has to be a little glitter. I'm making sure this is going out halfway of my eye. And I'm going to go back to Yellow Tonic. And I'm going to use that for the rest of my cut crease. I'm just packing off. and then I'm making sure that the two are blended out. So I added a little bit more of the orange just to make sure that they're together really nicely. So I'm gonna go in Candy Yum Yum, and we're just gonna have like dots everywhere, blended out, or slightly dots just everywhere. They're not connecting necessarily. And then we're gonna go in Rain Royal. Oh, I love this shade of purple, like royalty, and just pack that on as well. Everywhere where we don't have those two, we're gonna go in with that orange from my shadow box palette, and I like to put it on the tip of my nose instead of nose highlight, because I think that's just a really cute look to match my eyelids as well. And then we're gonna go with Yellow Tonic. So anywhere there isn't purple or pink or my orange, I'm gonna put the yellow. And now I'm just brushing it all out, making sure they all look kind of in unison, but at the same time, I still want some of my purples to stand out. After I'm done blending them out, I'm gonna use this kind of like rounded, it's like a small sponge. And with this small sponge, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some clouds. It's a hard sponge at the end, pretty much, and it's rounded, that I like to just place a dot where I want a cloud to go. Now, I'm using the same P. Louise base that I used on my high to do the cut crease. I'm just making sure it's like fully white, because clouds they're white. Unless it's rainy, then they're gray. But what I'm just doing is I'm just kind of smudging it out, and then I'm adding a little bit more of the base where I want a little bit more definition on the cloud. Any white smudge, honestly, could look like a cloud if you like, you know, it's like cloud, it looks like cloud. But like, literally any white smudge you do can look like a cloud. I'm just adding a little bit more, so I get more defined shape of what I want my clouds to look like. They're really hard to do on the bridge of the nose. I'm gonna tell you right off the bat right now. It's really hard to do. I honestly don't even feel like I nailed those ones, but I still feel like, to me, they look damn good. And then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna add a little cloud on the end of each one of my eyelids. So I'm gonna do the same thing, just making sure I'm being more careful because the canvas is smaller on this one. So making sure my dot's smaller, and then I'm just swooping it out. You gotta swoop it out, especially at the bottom of the cloud, so that it mixes with the other colors, because that's how it fades out really nicely. That's what makes the cloud look like a cloud. See on this eye? Oh, this eye is so much better. It's so pretty. I'm not gonna bother putting on any mascara because I don't have any eyelashes anyway. But May, if I had eyelashes, like, you bitches would be done. You bitches would be finished, kaput, over. I'm just saying that right now. This is the finished look, full face makeup and the sunset with clouds look. Ooh, ooh. So yeah, I mean, I could go with a colored lip with this. You guys can do any alternative of what sunset, but this is my interpretation, like the sun with the purplish pink background. This is just how I interpret my sunset. This is my sunset look. If you guys like this look, like, subscribe, and as you can see, I already had my eyebrows and my edges done before I even started the video, but that's because I already made a video for each of those. So the link for those two videos are going to be down inside the description. That's it from me for now. So I bid you adieu, Erica Badu. I'm out.